For now we see in a mirror darkly, but then face to face. 1 Corinthians 13:12. If you came over to my house and some pictures on my phone popped up on our television, I would find myself repeating a sentence. The pictures don't do it justice. A photo from Jenny and I traveling to the Nepali coast would catch your eye, but I would remind you there's no way to capture all the different colors and the brightness. A picture from Pebble Beach would draw the attention of golfers, but I would tell those who have never been there, it's so hard to describe how beautiful it is. A family photo taken as the sun sets in Glacier National Park would elicit comments. But I would remind you, there is no way to explain the magnitude of the mountains or the depths of the valleys. The pictures don't do it justice. This doesn't mean that the pictures are pointless. They serve a purpose. If you've never been to one of those places, it can give you a glimpse of what it's like. The first time I played Pebble Beach, I had seen the course so many times on television that I could describe every single hole. When I first stepped foot in Hanalei Bay, I had seen enough photos to immediately recognize exactly where I stood. Pictures give us an idea, but they can't tell the whole story. In 1 Corinthians 13, Paul gives us a picture of love. Now, after opening the chapter by telling of its importance, he then describes various characteristics of what love is like. And he tells us all about the patience and kindness of love. He reminds us of love's humility and its never-failing nature. And as he does so, we are drawn to the beauty which Paul describes. The picture is beautiful, compelling, desirous. But even having described what he calls the most excellent way, Paul closes the chapter by reminding us that the picture doesn't do it justice. His description of love is amazing, but he describes it in verse 12 like looking through a mirror darkly. The chapter helps. It gives us a better idea of what love is than if we were left to imagine it to ourselves, but it is but a shadow compared to what we will understand about love when we see Jesus face to face. Love on this earth at its very best, the feeling you have for your child, the affection you feel as your bride walks down the aisle, the sacrifice you make out of devotion for another is nothing compared to the fullness of love as found in Jesus. This should convince all of us that the way of love is better. As good as it can be when we get it right, we should become even more confident that the way of love is always the better way. As tempted as we are to avoid it, as much as we might be tempted to deny it, the way of Jesus is always the best way. And when we choose his way, we will never be disappointed. We may not fully understand it now, but one day we will see, even as we see Jesus face to face, that every time we choose the way of love, we have chosen the excellent way, the better way, and you and I will never regret love.